And welcome back to Caps Hockey Review. Caps were finally back in action after a 4-day break to take on the New Jersey Devils back in DC. We'll break it all down right here, right now. It's Caps Hockey Review. Let's go. Off we go. Well, as I noted, Capitals coming off a 4-day break. We all know how this team is historically with long breaks. First games back usually are not good. So in all truth, I really did not have high hopes for them in this game. The Devils been looking better lately. They're not going to push for a playoff spot by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think, but looking a lot better lately. Much more competitive under Lindy Ruff. Definitely some good future there for the Devils. But we're here to talk Caps. Lars Eller still out with this lower body injury. Has not practiced yet, so he's still a ways away. With that in mind, the Capitals did get back to a normal lineup. That 12 forward, 6D look with Wilson back in the picture. This puts Richard Panik at center there for a stretch. That was a little bit interesting. But another line for the Caps would take center stage as this game moved along. Vitek Vanacek gets the start. It looks like Laviolette's just kind of going back and forth between Vanacek and Samsonov at the moment. As I've discussed before, it's a situation where you just kind of wait for one to outplay the other and really grab that starting role. Both of them have been playing well lately, pretty solid performances, so it's a good problem to have if you're Peter Laviolette and the Capitals. So, off to the first period. That first goal, wow. That was a stinker. I thought this was a bad omen for what this night had to show for the Capitals. Luckily, it wasn't that way, but Vanacek just a little indecisive on that play. It's going to happen. You know, every goalie's going to give up kind of a stinker like that from time to time. He responded well, I felt. Not his best game, but still pretty solid. Dmitry Orlov answered for the Caps. He's kind of struggled this year as well. We haven't seen him kind of regain that form from like 2018. Him and Niskanen were kind of the shutdown pair for a while, but since Niskanen got traded to the Flyers a couple of years ago, Orlov has really kind of seemed to struggle to find his place in the lineup, honestly, but scored tonight, had some good defensive plays, so it was really good to see him get on track a little bit, and hopefully it continues. Overall, that first period, I would say sluggish for the Capitals. It's to be expected. 4 days off, it happens. It's going to be about how they respond later in the game, and they responded really well, and we'll kind of get into that. But sluggish start, it just kind of felt muddy, like both teams were just kind of feeling each other out. The Devils really did gain a measure of control there for a while, but the Caps did kind of find their way back toward the end of that first period. Off to the second, Vanacek, again, a leaky goal. He had a bit of a tough time with those. He gave up a couple weird ones tonight, which, again, it happens. It's going to happen. You're going to have bad nights. It's a freak goal. It's really nothing to get too worked up about. That's a situation where, yes, it's easy to say it'd be great to have a save there, and it would, but every goalie is going to give up those kind of goals. Unfortunately, it was just a night where it happened to him twice. Luckily for the Caps, that second period, that Ovechkin line got to work. And we saw Daniel Sprong move up to that top line with Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. He was playing that right wing. This is amazing. I have been a huge Daniel Sprong fan all year. I've been pumping his tires since day one. He showed a lot of promise playing for the Bears last year. This guy is going to be a big time player for this team. They need to get him re signed for future seasons. This guy is good. Everything about that top line in that second period, they just hummed. They looked so good. It's probably the best I've seen that top line look all season. Just absolutely excellent. And the Caps continued their dominance in the second period. They put up, two more goals in that second period. They looked really, really good. Outside the top line, fourth line was doing their thing. The Backstrom line was seemed a little bit absent tonight. It was interesting. You just didn't really pop out at you like they usually do with him and Oshie and Verana. But everyone struggles from time to time, like I've been talking about with Vanacek. Maybe they deserved a night off or not. They've had 4 off. What am I saying? No, they didn't deserve a night off. They're getting paid for this. Anyway, the second period dominance for the Capitals. Best team in goal differential, best team in total goals, best team in shooting percentage in the second period. Very, very good team in the second period. It held up tonight. They put themselves in a good position to win the hockey game in that third period. Well, the third period didn't exactly start great. The Devils got off to the power play and ended up tying the game. It's kind of a hazard of, again, these 4 days off, kind of taking some bad penalties. And that penalty on, I believe it was Nick Jensen, that ended up tying the game. It was a pretty weak call. There's been a lot of controversy around officiating in the NHL this week for that Tim Peel incident in that Predators Red Wings game. So I don't think this is one of those. I don't think this is a situation where they need to even up the calls because the Devils had 3 power plays where the Caps only had 2. So I don't think it's a situation like that. But weak call a little bit. The Devils tied it up right away on the power play. Shortly after that, we see Alex Ovechkin, Evgeny Kuznetsov. They go right back to work. Another quick goal for the Caps. That's one thing they did really, really, really well in this game. They did not allow the Devils to savor any kind of a lead or even being tied for that matter. Every goal the Devils scored, the Caps answered very quickly. It's really great when they can do that and just kind of keep that opposing team on their heels. Another thing in the third period that we saw that it was really kind of interesting, honestly. I think we see too much of this. TJ Oshie made a great open ice hit on, I believe it was McLeod. A great open ice hit, clean as can be, great hit altogether. He's skating away from the play and he's got PK Subban just crawling up his ass on this. I'm tired of this with guys having to answer for clean hits. If Oshie had elbowed McLeod in the head, fine, Subban, go get your pound of flesh, make Oshie answer for it. But you can't go after the guy for delivering a clean hit. I don't care how big it is. I don't care if he puts him through the glass. A clean hit is a clean hit, and you should not have to answer for it. Subban should be going to his own guy saying, hey, buddy, keep your head up. It's pro hockey. It's a contact league. Keep your head up. And it's not just in this game. It's in every single game, every single night. We see guys get challenged to fights for delivering clean hits. Just because a hit's big does not make it dirty. This needs to stop. It's ridiculous. Anyway, now that I've had my little rant here. Anyway, overall the Caps, I feel it was a little bit of a typical game coming back after a long break. The Caps got outshot. Not bad, 24-22. 0 for 2 on the power play. The PK did give up 1 on 3 chances for the Devils. Hits-wise, the Caps were really good. 26 hits. They out-hit the Devils big time. That was really good. That's how the Caps play, so it was good to see them get to that physical game. Face-off percentage. I've been hitting on this most of the year, and it's coming up again. Nick Dowd was really good in the face-off dot for the Caps. Everybody else still struggling. Kuznetsov Faceoffs have never been his strong suit. I will push for this until the day it happens, if it finally happens. I would be a huge fan of seeing TJ Oshie switch to the center and seeing Evgeny Kuznetsov switch to the wing. I think it suits both players better. Oshie's better in the faceoff dot. He's more defensively inclined as a forward. Put Kuznetsov in a position where he doesn't have to worry as much defensively and he doesn't have to worry about winning faceoffs. I think he'll be a much more effective player offensively as well. But after this game, he was great tonight. I mean, I'm not really winning anyone over with that argument because he was great tonight, of course, playing in that center role. Notable players, that top line, Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, Sprong were everywhere. They figured in on 3 of the 4 goals. Just great. They buzzed all night. Very, very excellent. I hope this line sticks together. This is exciting, and I hope Laviolette just keeps this train rolling because they look awesome. Dmitry Orlov, first goal. Like I mentioned, been on a bit of a struggle this year offensively. We're used to seeing him produce a little bit more. Of course, not seeing him on that second power play unit. Of course, now that spot's occupied by Justin Schultz. So we were bound to see a little bit of an offensive decline, but it's nice to see him getting involved offensively. The Caps overall defense, their defensemen have been great in terms of producing offensively all season, and it's nice to see Orlov get in on that. I'm going to circle back to Evgeny Kuznetsov here again. I am pumping this guy's tires tonight, but he played a hell of a game. I have no problem doing it. 9 points in his last 8 games. This guy is starting to heat up. He got off to a slow start. Then he was out for COVID for an extended time. Struggled a little bit after that, but it looks like this guy's kind of finding his way again. I'm hoping we're kind of seeing the re-emergence of that kind of Barry Trotz era. Evgeny Kuznetsov, leading the team in points, has the capability to put up 30 goals in a season. Of course, he's not going to do it this year with the shortened year, but if this Evgeny Kuznetsov sticks around, he's going to be really dangerous, and it's going to just add even more high octane to this Capitals offense. So hopefully this continues. I'm very excited for this. Up next, Jersey, once again, tomorrow night, still in DC. Going back to back, I am sure we will see Ilya Samsonov get the net for the Caps. I believe it'll probably be Aaron Dell for the Devils. That'll be kind of an interesting matchup. But the Caps have won all 4 games against the Devils this year. So hopefully they can grab another 2 points tomorrow night. These standing points are going to be extremely important. I've noted before this division is a real tight race. They're battling it out with the Islanders for that top spot, but you've got, of course, Boston hanging around. You've got Pittsburgh. Philly's kind of hitting the skids as of late. I don't know where they're going to be. The Rangers are coming up strong, just like I said they would. They've got Artemi Panarin back. The Caps need to bank the points now. If they can get 2 more points every time they play the Devils, awesome. They'll need it come the end of the season. It's going to be a tight finish. Hoping for 2 more points tomorrow night.